Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, one and all. Welcome back to the new Galaxy Gamers channel, and welcome back to a farm from scratch here in Farming Simulator 22. I hope you're all having a safe, wonderful, and successful week this week in whatever you're doing, whether it might be work or school or whatever it might be. I hope it's successful and I hope you're doing well. If you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. If you're a returning member, welcome back to you as well. It's great to have you all here hanging out with me, having fun, commenting in the Discord server, chatting as a member of the community. It's great to see, and I love every second of it. So be sure to keep that up. Keep up the good work. Keep up the comments, suggestions, feedback, ideas. I love hearing that. That being said, if you're new to the channel, like I said, welcome aboard. If you're a returning member, welcome back to you as well. As usual, all usual disclaimers are in the description of this wonderful video. And just as a quick reminder, if you have not voted in the poll in the communities tab on the channel, please be sure to do so. It is important that you have your say as to whether you would prefer me to stream on YouTube or Twitch. These are one of those questions that I let my community have input and have a say in as well. So far, the votes coming in are for YouTube, but you still have a chance to express your opinion and your view in that poll. So, that being said, we got a lot of work to do. We still got to get more hay off the field and get the rest of it baled and off the field as well. So let's go ahead, let's get cracking. Let's grab our coffee, our donuts, our bagels, our egg McMuffin, sausage, egg and cheese, biscuits, our favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner, or excuse me, or snack from our favorite local mom and pop coffee shop, and let's get cracking. Okay, so when we get back to the barn, you're going to see a huge mess. I found a way to make a mess in my shed, but yeah, so I'll have to reorganize all that. That's okay. I really don't mind. My goal is just to make sure right now that we had enough hay for the calves. And we'll have that. Get this off here. We'll put this over here. If you hear my dishwasher, it sounds like a dishwasher in the background, it's because you do. I had to use my desktop at home today, working from home, and decided I needed to get this video recorded, and my home office is... Hi there, buddies. My home office is a little messy right now as I'm trying to redo it. Okay. So these guys eat a lot. So we'll take care of this real quick. We'll get the rest of that baled. Yes, my buddies. Alright, so it is making slurry. That is good. That means we're going to be able to We'll be able to buy a slurry spreader and put that on the fields. That's actually going to help. And we're seeing manure too, so we're going to be able to do that. All right, we'll come back for these bales. Yeah, we're moving on up. The Jeffersons. That was a good show. Good TV show. All in the Family was a good show too, although I didn't really necessarily care for some of the lines that were used. I really didn't care much for that per se, for certain types of lines per se, but hey, it is what it is. For those of you that are younger and may not necessarily remember All in the Family, Rob Reiner actually played Michael Stivic in All in the Family. Hard to believe. And for those of you that were Big Bang Theory fans, like me, you got to see Rob Reiner in The Big Bang Theory. He played in The Big Bang Theory. He played Bernadette's father. So I thought that was really cool that he did that. The actress that played Leonard's mother in The Big Bang Theory, I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she also was in Happy Family with the one and only John Larroquette. John Larroquette was pretty funny. Of course, he got. I think he really got his start in Night Court, to be honest. But John Larroquette's funny. I like him. And I am glad he's in the Night Court reboot with Melissa Rauch. I kind of wonder what he would have been like playing a character in The Big Bang Theory. That would have been funny. And if you ask me if I would love to see a reboot of The Big Bang Theory with the same cast of characters, the same actors, you better believe it. I'd love that. And I know a bunch of people that actually like that too. And I know that there's probably some of you out there that would probably not agree with me, but that's okay. We can have our disagreements as a community, that's fine. As long as we treat each other with respect. That's all I ask. But I can actually see a scenario, well, not anymore, but I could have seen a scenario where you had Rob Reiner, and John Larroquette together in a comedy series of some sort. That would have been funny. So I mean, there are things I can see, and it's kind of too bad. All right, we're getting there. Now, if you had put And I will say this, because I actually think it's probably true. But if you had put Rob Reiner, John Larroquette, and Harry Stone together in a comedy, I guarantee you would have had laughs. And you would have had something very special there, I think. Of course, you wouldn't have been able to get away with it, I don't think, if you didn't add Marquee Post to that. She was really good too. Although, a friend of mine says that when he saw some of her work in Night Court, he said she reminded him a little bit of Reese Witherspoon. Of all people. And I don't know. I never thought about it that way never really looked at it that way to see if there was a comparison between Marquee Post and Reese Witherspoon, but quite honestly, I think it probably is. Anyway. We've almost got this set of bales off. Be able to get in the baler here shortly and get the rest of it all baled up. Ah, so there is a hill here. Yeah, there is. Okay, that's why that's why. I get it now, okay. I get it now. Hey. Before I started getting ready to record this morning, I was thinking about our next steps. And after we get this all baled and off the field, we are going to plow this field, get it ready. And I might actually sell some of this hay and see how much we can make for it. And for those wondering, yes, Farming Simulator 25 is coming to the channel. Same with Space Engineers 2. We already know, as you already know, I've got Space Engineers 2 is already in the game vault, ready to rock and roll. All right, cool. We got it all. Right. We didn't get it all off the field, but that's okay. All right, let's get to it, shall we? We're gonna have to clean up the manure. Yeah, I know, Moo Moose. I always say you can never have enough hay. Okay, we are making bales. There we go. Yeah, we're getting there. Now the goal will be to get it all baled in this episode. And then I'll take the rest, probably take the rest of the bales off camera. There we go. It's good to be able to get all this done. Alright, let's grab this real quick. Just check something, folks. Oh, I did miss some bales over here. All right, but I've Okay, I got all the hay up. We did miss some bales over here, so we'll have to grab them. No big deal. All right. All right, we are almost actually there, believe it or not. There we go. This is how we bale the hay. uh, well, we're getting there. That's what matters. Yeah. This is going to be a big field. In a way, I'm thinking maybe when we plow this field up, it might actually be better to make this into a grain field that we can use to sell, like plant a big thing of soybeans or canola. Then we'd have a big cash crop. I don't know. I have to think about that one. How to think about that? How much would we get? That's the real question. I wonder. We're getting there, right? Takes time. You kind of have to picture yourself on a farm, in a big field, baling all this hay. Really big fields can take all day to do. A small field, maybe an hour, too, depending on how big the field is and how much hay you got. I would like to buy a better baler. Alright, we'll do this. Pop over here. And we'll pick some more of this up. It's going to take a little bit. I'm probably going to do... in all honesty, I'm probably going to do some of this off camera. Just because it's a lot, and I really don't think it's fair to make y'all sit through it. I do want to see. Seems we almost got this a truckload of bales now. I do want to try an experiment. All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, I do want to try an experiment, and I want to talk about another. I want to talk about something I want to buy. We want to buy for the farm here. Yeah, I know it was bales over here, I saw. Or did I get them? I think I got them. Yeah, I think I got them. Okay. Just making sure we got all the bales over here. Yeah, looks like we did. Okay. Cool. Alright. We even got the ones we missed. Alright, so. Now, we know we have a harvest coming up. Because we're in May, so we know in a couple of months we have that coming up. Right? So that's going to make us some money on our soybeans and canola. Okay. Alright, let's get these on here real quick. And you might wonder, is one thing I had been asked by people is if there were real life people who owned real world farms that played Farming Simulator. And the answer to that is there are. The Squad and his compadres, his friends there, they all are in the agricultural industry in the real world. The Squad and his brother, I think his name is Spencer, they both own a farm. which is really cool. And they are funny. They are entertaining. The antics they get up to. Antics they get up to are kind of funny. Let's head this way. But yes, the answer to that question would be yes. There are people who play Farming Simulator and enjoy it that do actually own farms. And that's pretty cool because not only are they able to play the game, but they are able to give you a perspective as a real life farmer. I grew up on a farm. I am not a farmer these days, as you all know. But I did grow up on a farm, so I do have that experience. I can tell you what it's like to grow up on a farm. I can tell you various different things. But you know, one thing I will say is that to those who would ask, well, what's it like to live on a farm? I would say, well, it's actually quite nice if you can put up with the hours. The hours can be a little bit of a headache, but you get used to it. Me, I was up before the rooster crowed. That's just a saying, but where I grew up. But basically, it means you're up before dawn. You're up about 4 o'clock in the morning, give or take. You're having breakfast, getting ready for the day. By 5 o'clock, 5:30 at the latest. All right. You're let's go sell this. See what happens. We got enough. We'll be able to experiment a little bit. But yeah, you're up by 4 o'clock, eating breakfast, getting ready. By 5 o'clock, 5:30, if you have cows or other animals, you're getting them fed and milked, getting ready for the dairy company to come and pick up the milk, if you're a dairy farm. And then, after that, depending on how many cattle you have that you have to do that with. By the time 8 or 9 o'clock rolls around, you're finishing that up and getting ready for the day. You're doing other stuff around the farm. Maybe you're going out in the field to do some field work. Maybe you're doing some repairs around the farm, like fencing and things like that. Wow. 25,447. That's actually good. Nice. All right. That actually gets us, that's a good experiment. That's a lot of money. Let's see. Do I have maybe enough to lease that tractor I wanted to lease? All right, so let's talk about this real quick while we're up here, because it makes no sense for me to go to the store and do all that and then come home and not do it. So let's talk about it, shall we? Before we end the episode. Maybe we'll release it. I have an idea. Alright, I don't really necessarily care for the Fendt. Y'all know that. I do like my class tractors now. I like them, so deal with it. Alright, so this one has... let's talk about this one. Because this is the one I might get. Now, right now, it can get up to 420 horsepower. That would pretty much deal with everything we've got. It's got the 3-point hitch on the front, got it on the back. You don't really need to upgrade it any further. And it would be actually a pretty darn good work tractor around the farm to have. And I honestly wouldn't mind having it, to be honest with you. So that would be, I would like to be able to get that. Because that would allow us to do a lot of things. Yeah? That would allow us to do a lot around the farm, get a lot done. I would still keep the tractor we have now because we're still going to need it. So I would still keep it around. Maybe reconfigure it so that it's got the ability to have the bucket loader on front to clean up the manure and things like that. That's probably what I would do. Let's see how much this is going to be to lease this bad boy. I can find the right link. There it is. Okay, so to lease this thing, it's basically you're paying a base cost of about $7,800. Per work day, you're paying about 3 to 4 grand. You're paying about $7,000 per month. The lease amount, I think we could afford it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say yes. We'll lease it. That gives us another tractor on the farm, and we'd be able to get that field started to be plowed and starting to do that. So that's what we'll do in the next episode. Let's see if there's something else we want while we're at it. Let's see how much. Now, if I were going to do the cedar, if we're going to do what we were talking about doing a little while ago, where we would actually, wonder if I can buy a shovel here. can I? Oh, interesting. I put this one over here. Huh. Let's see what else. There's a shovel. Well, let's grab this. We can buy that. If somebody said to me, hey, why don't you lease a shovel? A hand shovel, I'd be like, yeah, I think you're out of your mind. Have a hand wash? Yes. Alright, let's take this back. And we'll sort the rest of it out in the next episode. And I got an idea of how we can make the lease every month. Yeah, there's a way we can do that, so I'm not so worried about it. We know how to do that, so. That's actually pretty good. That made us a lot of money. I'm actually impressed. I did not think it would make us that much. Alright, I know I'm supposed to be wrapping up the episode, but I'll hang out with you guys for a couple more minutes. So anyway, what I'm thinking... as we get these bales picked up, cleaned up a little bit, get our field a little more organized. Okay. And as you can see, we're already... Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, okay, I think what we'll do is we will actually call it here, and we'll continue on next week. Excuse me. We'll continue on next week, as I was so rudely interrupted by my own throat. We made some money off those bales. That's good to know. That's good actually to see. So that means we're going to be able to make the lease for the tractor for a couple of months. That's good. I have some ideas about how we make sure that we're making enough money every month to cover that cost of that lease, because that tractor is going to be important. So what we're going to do in the next episode when we come back, we're going to continue baling this up and getting it ready, but I'm also going to start drawing the outline of the field. So that way we have a pretty good idea of what we want to do. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode and enjoyed hanging out with me and learning a little bit more about TV shows that Rob Reiner was in. May he rest in peace, and may his wife rest in peace, and may their family heal, and may their family find happiness and comfort, and may they be comforted by God Himself. For those who believe in God, I would ask you to pray for them and keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. Smash that bell notification icon to let yourself know when the next video comes out. And be sure to share the link to the channel with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers, your pet kitty cat, pet puppy dog, pet parakeet, pet bunny rabbit, pet guinea pig, pet koala bear, pet bobcat, pet dragon, pet lizard, pet gecko. I don't know. By sharing the link to the channel with others, it does help this wonderful channel grow. It helps our community grow as well. Feel free to join the Discord server and hang out with our community. They're a bunch of great people. We got some really great people in there. We've got Baling, we've got a whole bunch of others who I can't think of off the top of my head because I'm not looking at my Discord. But you know who you are. But we got a bunch of great people in there, so feel free to jump in and join the conversation, have fun with everybody, interact with the community. And with that being said, I'm in there too. So, that being said, I shall see y'all in the next episode. Have a safe, wonderful, and successful rest of your week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Happy gaming.